The information and discussions shared on The Love Show are from personal accounts and experiences. Listener discretion is advised. This episode contains explicit language and frank discussions of adult themes or sexual content that may not be suitable for all audiences. Any communications, considerations, or recommendations are not a substitute for medical, psychological, or licensed professional help in wellness or recovery. Please seek a qualified practitioner regarding specific needs or concerns. We thank you and hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome to The Love Show, an exploration of love, romance, relationships, and sacred sexuality. This is your invitation to dive deeper into your innermost self and strengthen the bonds of love and intimacy. Jennifer Rose is an international psychic medium, transformational guide, channel, writer, and healer. With the help of fellow trailblazers, Jennifer's mission is to combine timeless wisdom and modern spiritual awareness to transform and evolve humanity, all while encompassing healthy transformative love, epic beauty, and divine connection. Now here is your host, Jennifer Rose.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jennifer Rose. Welcome to The Love Show, and we are on the Sacred Spiral Network. Happy Monday, happy new week, and we're less than 2 weeks away for summer, everybody. You know, the summer girl's getting very, very excited. So as we're all coming on, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you had a fabulous weekend. And I'm very excited about tonight's upcoming show on Twin Flames with our special guest, Jess Doyle. She's absolutely fabulous, and she does amazing things, coaching work and hypnotist work for her clients as well, too. So I'm so glad that we were able to partner up and make this show happen for you all today. And even if you're not on the twin flame journey, this show still is for you because we have some beautiful advice and help on relationships that will help anybody. So stay tuned. And I know people are pretty fascinated about this topic too. If you're not quite sure about it, they're pretty fascinated as well. So anyways, thank you again once for joining us. And later this week, everybody, forgive me, the energy just hit me. Later this week, everybody, we have multiple shows coming up on the Sacred Spiral Network on Tuesday, on Friday, and on Wednesday as well. Coming up this Friday on my sister show, Embracing Infinity. My special guest is Shannon Rattay. Many of you know her. She helps me co-host Messages from the Enchanted Realms, and she also has her own show as well on the Sacred Spiral Network, Guided Life. And also Shannon is a fabulous career and leadership coach as well too. So we've got a very wonderful, like high level conversation coming up on living a really magnificent and epic life coming up this Friday. So please do join us for Embracing Infinity at its normal scheduled time at 12 p.m. Pacific this coming Friday. As well, my friends, next week on The Love Show, I've got Naomi and Martin coming on for The Space Between. They are a couple that does relationship coaching, and I'm looking forward to having them on. They're just beautiful, bright, happy people, and I'm so happy they crossed my paths as well, too. So those are our announcements, everybody, today, and I'd love to say a quick hello to everybody before we bring on my special guest, Jess Doyle. Hello, Jennifer McCormick, joining us from the UK. Thank you for staying late for us, too. Everybody who's here in the US, it is 2 a.m. in the UK, and I've got some diehard community supporters that stay up for me, even if they've been watching the other shows all day too. So greatly appreciate it, Jennifer. So happy that you're here. I also see the lovely and Vivian Ishmaru also joining us as well over from Hawaii. It's always so fabulous to be spread across the world and across the seas as well too. So thank you for being here as well, Miss Vivian. Great to see you. There is our dear friend, Jeffrey, my co-Californian. Thanks for being here, Jeffrey, fine sir. I saw you joining early as well. So thanks for waiting up for us as well too. Kay Weezy, great to see you too. Thanks for joining us. I see you are here and I'm happy you are here too. So thank you all for being here today. And how are we doing, everybody? You managing the energies well? Are we moving through that pretty well? I think some of you are going to say you're exhausted and it's only June. But we're all hanging in there together. It has been an intense year, but look how strong we've proven ourselves to be. I also want to say thank you, Jennifer. I also want to say hello to Nancy Muratala, which does remind me as well. She is one of my soul sister friends as well. Her and I co-host Fashionably Spiritual, and many of you know we usually air on once a month on Mondays, but we've switched that over to Fridays. So we will be having our show first time this coming Friday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, which is 2:30 a.m. in the UK and 9:30 Eastern. So we're excited to be moving to a different day, but still just as fashionable and fabulous as ever. So we will see you there then on Friday night. Super excited. So thank you again. Hello, Miss Charlene Shaz, who has joined us as well, also from the UK. Thank you for staying up. I'm so happy y'all are drinking your afternoon coffee and tea because you can stay up and be with me here today too. And I also want to give a big thank you to our producer, owner, and creator of the Sacred Spiral Network, Miss Kelly Brickle, who's making all of this tech run smoothly in the background. With her, none of us would have these wonderful shows and we wouldn't have this beautiful community. So a big thank you to our dear Kelly for making all of this possible. So welcome, 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 everybody. And thank you all again for sharing in this space. I hope that these shows are a safe and loving space for you to join and to feel the sense of community, to feel the sense of love and togetherness. And I think so far we're doing a pretty good job. And to bring in information and enlightenment, and I don't use that word in a big fancy way, but illumination to make your lives better, things that you can learn, use, and practice that really will help us all to live a better life. And for the Love Show, what better way to live a better life than to improve our relationships? So that is one of my main goals here today. And for all of these shows is if we have happier, better relationships, the whole world becomes a better place to live in. Mr. K. Weezy, we are not doing readings on the show tonight. This is a discussion show, but I'm so happy that you're here and sharing the space with us. All right, Miss Jennifer, let me see. Jupiter and Venus kiss June 8th and 9th. Big few weeks coming up. And also the 25th of July is mentioned a lot. Oh dear. Well, we'll just, we haven't buckled up our seatbelts already. We're just going to keep going with the flow. What else can we do? Just keep going, everybody. So it's an exciting time to be alive and on this planet for sure. I mean, our souls must be super happy. I also want to say, Brian Lauer, hello, my magical friend, our wizard from Being the Light, fabulous show that we just had. So great job. Thank you, Brian. And a big hello to you and all the shiny, happy people. I love that. I also want to say hello to Healing is Living and Me and My Shadow as well. Thank you all for being here. So happy to see you all here tonight. So, and that reminds me, thank you for putting the hashtag live in the comments. That really helps with the algorithms. And it lets Facebook and YouTube know that we're doing something cool here tonight. And then more people will be able to spot it in the feed. So that's greatly appreciated. These little bits of energy are big gifts to us. We really appreciate it. And if you wouldn't mind also hitting the little heart button while you're watching your video on Facebook, that reaction button, the like button, as our friend Heidi likes to call it, that helps as well. And if you're over on YouTube, if you can click on that thumbs up that says you like this video, those help as well too. And we always appreciate follows and subscribes. It's another little click of the button, and hopefully we're doing something well here today and you want more, and that helps you to be informed of when things are coming up and what we're doing and what we're offering as well too. So greatly appreciated. We're all trying to grow together, so it's really fun that we can all support each other too. So much appreciated. Yes, ride the waves indeed, Miss Jennifer. Okay, without further ado, I am honored and excited to welcome the lovely Jess Doyle to the Love Show.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, Jess.
I have my little friend here tonight. So my son is joining in with us.
I'm so happy that he is. And everybody knows me here. Kids, pets, always welcome.
Yeah.
So it just makes it that much of a happier place for all of
Yeah.
us. So it worked out just as it should have been. And I want to thank you for taking the time out, especially as a new mom, to join us and share your wisdom with all of us here today. Because I know that we have an opportunity to really help a lot of people here today. The twin flame journey is no joke. Relationships are hard enough, and so there's help for everybody here tonight. So, my dear, how did you? Just a brief sort of let me read your bio, and then
Yeah.
we'll go from there. I was going to ask you a question, then I changed my mind. So here we go. So here we go, everybody. For your those of you who are just getting to know Jess, she is a hypnotist and coach specializing in twin flame connections and separation. She survived her own twin flame journey in 2011 and has been helping others regain their power ever since, using a variety of techniques that blend spiritual concepts with psychology. Her training is in introspective hypnosis, inner child reparenting, and parts work. These are all my favorite things. So I was so
Too.
happy about this. You can find Jess at guruse with 2s's.com. We will be putting that little banner across the screen for you. And on all the social media platforms, she is at Twin Flame Rehab, which includes Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And she also has a podcast on Spotify as well, too. So well done, spreading all your information and love and help to everybody. Hello, Miss Heidi Gohl, who's just joined us as well, too. Okay, so now back to my question. How did this sort of all come about? Because it almost feels like it all just sort of aligned the way it was supposed to get you here today.
Yes. So I met my twin. It was January 1st, 2011. And it just like knocked my socks off like everyone else, the electric shock, the immediate feeling of home, unconditional love. I had visions like of a wedding. I thought this was my person. And back in 2011, everything online was saying, keep at it, keep healing. They'll heal if you heal, and don't give up, surrender, all that stuff, and then they'll come around. And I worked so hard to get, him to come around, and he just wasn't interested in anything serious. It was very casual for about 4 years. So it was devastating. It was devastating to lose that dream. And I've never felt so much pain in my life. And it was really hard to like close out that chapter. And what worked for me back then was do you know Brian Weiss? Do you remember
I
Hay
do.
House and
Yes.
Brian Weiss? I went to a
Yes.
Hay House
Past life.
conference. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
had his CD and I listened to it over and over and over. And one of the times it finally hit where I saw, his higher self, my higher self. And he said, not this lifetime. And I got to see all the lifetimes we had together and all of this. So it
Wow.
really, it hurt, but it was very healing. It kind of set me on this journey. And eventually I set up an anonymous website because I didn't want anyone to know what I was going through. It was very embarrassing. All my friends were sick of hearing about him. My therapist, no, it was clear that he wasn't for me, but it was really hard to move on to something different. And so that's what got this website going. I posted anonymously. And it really kind of picked up steam through the years. The word twin flame it's skyrocketing. So many people are meeting twin
Yeah.
flames, karmics. And for me, the label doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's helpful to have the label, but it's at some point it's not helpful because we don't know. I always tell people, wait till you're 100 years old, you're on your deathbed, then you can kind of decide. So that's why this show is for everyone, because whether it's your twin flame, your karmic, a situationship, it's kind of all the same work is how I see it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I do believe like the twin flame has some very succinct characteristics to it as well, but the journey is going to be a little bit different for every single person
Yeah.
too. And it's very unpredictable
Yeah.
as well too. And it's like, so you can use all of the tools out there trying to figure it out, but it's still going to follow its own beat.
It is. And I found that more and
Yeah.
more it's people who are really advanced spiritually are meeting these people. So it's even
Yeah.
more humbling that, hey, I've done this work for like 10 plus years. I can do all this
Yeah.
stuff, but it's like the PhD in love and
Yeah.
self-love and all of those things. So it's not easy for sure, even if you've been
It
doing it for a long time.
it is not easy. It is one of the hardest journeys to go through,
Yeah.
because it's the and it doesn't, it never completely ends. You know, the connection's
Mhm.
always going to be there. So it's just learning to live the rest of your life managing the connection, managing the
Yeah.
energy too.
Turning the volume
And
down, I say, or just kind of moving them out a
yeah,
little further in your field so they're not
yeah.
right in your energy.
Um, and but what was I going to think? I lost my train of thought there. Um, but yeah, you just learn to kind of move forward in a different way, and also there, I think there is a point when you've gotten past all of these sort of major phases of crazy that bring you to an acceptance of what is, and an amount of self love that's within you, that you realize that there's comfort. That reminds me what I was going to say. There's comfort in knowing that the connection will always be there. Some people may say, well, that's a curse. I don't want that. I want it gone forever too.
Yeah.
But then the flip side is there's a little bit comfort knowing that it's that's just, it's just always there. It's always there.
Mhm.
So there is no real loss. There is no real separation. There's a bit of an illusion to the separation. That's what I was trying to
Well
say.
said. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, Dina. Thank you. Thank you for being on here. Crazy journey indeed. Tina
Uh-huh.
must know.
Yes. Yeah.
And what you said is so true, because I see it over in the spiritual community a lot. I have kind of that radar. And so I can, can tell. And it's just, it seems to be very, very prevalent. So people who are on this journey, whether it be mediumship, whether it be healing, psychic work, or other modalities and things like that, it seems like this journey becomes part of what's happening for them as well too.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know why. I don't know why so many though.
Yeah, it's a lot. And it's deeply painful. It's I mean, people say it's worse than divorce or cancer or all these things they've been through, but this is like the top most painful experience
Yeah,
in life is to be in
it really
separation.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the magnetic pull is
Yeah.
it's like a paranormal thing in its own, and that's what causes such grief, because it's like
Yeah.
that energy never completely disappears. It
Yeah.
has its ebbs and its flows, you know, and kind of thing like that. So we're here to help people who are, there may be some desperate ones here too, either
Yes.
watching now or watching later, and like how can we help them get to a point where they're thriving and living a beautiful life, even if it didn't work out, you know, even if
Absolutely.
they didn't get their
Absolutely.
union,
Yeah.
as well too. So a couple of the things that you offer is the inner child reparenting and the parts work, because
Yes.
in this journey it forces you to face all of your shadow stuff, all of your insecurities, all of that. There is a gift in that. It's just that it happens so much all at once versus
Yes.
other people could spread this out over years of therapy,
Uh,
right?
no. Mm-mm. Yes.
So how does that work? I'm a huge fan of integration work. So this is one of the things I just loved about you, that you do the parts work too, and you help people to understand their minds.
Yeah. So, and there's plenty of people online can help you with reunion and all of that. My work is more, let's you're in separation. Let's get the most out of it. Let's work on your relationship to grief,
Yeah,
to hope, to your inner child. All of that is so beautiful. You don't want to miss that. Because it's easy to get thinking about the future and what it'll be like, but we don't know yet what that's going to be. But we can get in touch with our inner child. And sometimes it's the first time people really touch the inner child. And one of the
yeah,
big things about the twin flames I've found in hypnosis is that the inner children are connected. Yours and his or hers are very, and it's like they're best friends, instant best friends. And so you're asking this part of you, your logic mind is saying, hey, we got to go. This person has an addiction. They're not coming around. Maybe they're married. They don't want to leave their situation. So your logic mind can see that, but your inner child can't. The inner child can only feel this amazing thing that's happening and wants to go back to the playground. I say, let's go back to the playground where you two are
yeah,
together. So it's a lot of working with that inner child and all the strategies we learned growing up how to get love and attention, we use with our twin flame. So if it's to be really helpful, if it's to be really pretty, or, to chase, and our certain flavor of chasing is a lot of times really rooted in our childhood. So it's good to connect with that little kid in that category
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. And I think so many don't even know what they're doing. They don't even know that they're doing it and what they're doing until someone shows them all these different parts, and they will like, what? There's more than one me?
Yeah, there's
Oh,
more
there's
than one
many.
you.
There's
Yes.
a lot of yous in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry, little buddy.
And they don't all want the same thing, do they?
They
I'm so happy
don't.
you're here, Dina.
They don't. They don't. And another part
And
we find is there's usually like a mother or a healer part that wants to help. So connecting with her.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So many beautiful parts that can help
Yes.
too. Um, and what you said leads me to another part is there is this overlap of patterning that you often see. And you'll see this sort of codependent addiction patterns. And I'm going to go in a couple different places with this. And you see the attachment avoidant pattern to start to show up. And this is where it can get kind of confusing, and people may think that they're in a TF when they're really just experiencing a high level like dopamine addiction and trauma loop that they're into. And I know some coaches have distanced themselves a little bit from the TF just because they don't want people staying in relationships that are unhealthy and toxic. Just because it's a twin flame, and they just, they'll wear that could be, that could be very troublesome. But do you have any thoughts on why these patterns are so prevalent in this particular type of dynamic? Like, why are there so many avoidance? It's like it's almost across the board. No worries, take your time. It's okay. baby's like, mama. You're muted, love. So we'll give you just a minute. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You're all good.
So I think
okay.
I think it's a common relationship pattern we've got to clear out collectively. The codependent, the addiction, and it's if you're a healer or your mother healer, it's very tempting to stay with someone who needs help and healing. So I think the twin flame is perfect for that because it's going to put that in your face.
Yeah. And then I think sometimes when we're trying to focus on another person, we forget to focus on ourselves too. So that comes in. That's where kind of like the codependency comes in. And so to realize
Absolutely.
I do think that when you heal yourself, you're not healing yourself to heal the other person. You're healing yourself for yourself. But then because you are uniquely the same energy, it does help the other person inadvertently. But that's not the reason why you should do it. That's the trick.
Yes, and that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to do it all to get together, and it was not helpful.
Yeah, it throws you in a spin for sure. And we have a couple comments here. Jennifer is saying she met her twin flame 28 years ago this month, and he passed away 43 months ago today. And I'm so sorry, Jennifer. She's on very regularly, so I know her story. And her and I have been connected through her lovely connection with her husband for on shows like these for quite a long time here too. And it makes me kind of wonder because so few of the TFs actually do come into union. Some do. I have seen some. I have even seen some get married and be pretty happy too. But it seems like a lot of them just don't end up together because they can't fill the very, very tall order of how much healing needs to take place. Both have to be super committed to wanting to. And, or one of them passes away, or the obstacles are just so enormous. There's just no way too. So that comes in. So why did God make it so hard, Jess?
I don't know. My little buddy wanted out. He didn't want to.
Oh, sweetheart. Hi, we love you.
You make it hard because otherwise, what else would work? Love is the most delicious thing on this planet. And when you meet your twin,
Yeah.
it's like, I say it's almost like a near death experience. You shoot straight up into spirit, and then you got to
Yeah.
come back down. And now what are you going to do with your life? Who are you going to be
Yeah.
if you can't have
I love
access
that.
to that? What's the work now for you? And you can give up. A lot of people get very suicidal thoughts. I
Hmm.
know I did. I thought, what's the point of being here if I can't be with him this lifetime? But you really have to dig
Yeah.
deep and find a new version of who you are to keep moving forward. And maybe they'll come back in 10 years, 20 years. We don't know. That's the problem, is we
Yeah.
don't know. We don't want to lose too much
Yeah.
time with the longing
Waiting.
and the waiting. Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I love that. Who are you now? Who are you going to be now that you've come back down to the ground after being in the ethers and in the bubble land there for a while? Um, it is hard to balance the two because it's like you're living every fairy tale that was ever written. That's what it feels like,
It does.
you
It does.
know?
You've hit nirvana. All the songs make sense. Everything makes sense.
Hmm.
And people are like, well, okay, if I can't be with my twin, who do I date now? What's the point of dating? Or, and that's where you dig
Hmm.
deep and you kind of find who you are that's different. And
Yeah.
you no longer, once you find who you are in this deeper way, when everything's taken from you, you're in the twin flame void, is what I call it, where everything is just dark, you're lost, you have no identity without this person. You're just no one. It feels like this. But after that,
Yeah.
after you kind of put the pieces together, you get the parts together, you're going to find different connections. I don't know what label they'll have, but you'll see. And you won't need that high high and the low low. It'll feel different, but it'll be
Hmm.
it'll be better for you. It'll be, I always say, it's like you finally have someone on the couch next to you. That's what you really want. You want the soul connection. And you've had some couples on too. They're just lovely. And they are literally sitting
Yeah.
next to each other on the couch. And a lot
Yeah.
of twin flames, they can't make it to the couch next to you.
Yeah.
Some can, but a lot can't.
They can't even make it
So
on a plane.
they can't get on a
It's just,
plane. And
they,
and I always
yeah,
tell people
that's so hard.
it's so hard because sometimes it's someone you met for one afternoon, and then sometimes
Hmm.
it's decades. And there's no, they're similar but different stories. So you should always
Yeah.
give yourself some credit, even if it's just someone you met once and it changes your
Yeah.
life. It's
Oh,
just as
for
important.
sure. Yeah, absolutely. Jennifer saying inner child wounds her partner had many. I tried to help him heal from. He never experienced unconditional love before we met.
Yeah.
And that unconditional love is really kind of like, I think, where you end up. That's,
Yeah.
to get to a point where you realize there's no one to blame, no one's at fault. It's just we're, one soul in two lives and loving that person as they are, no matter what. And
Absolutely.
that's
It's very
even if you don't
freeing.
have, yeah, even if you don't end up together, even if
Yes.
you never see each other, you
Yeah.
just love them as they are. And that is what unconditional love. And and it's okay. And it's
Yes.
okay. So
Yes.
then it's not about the attachment of what it needs to look like. It's just the love as it is. It's a higher love, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
you're not attached to them healing. You're attached to them taking their time. Maybe they want to take a couple years to heal, or maybe they don't want to go
Hmm.
to rehab or do any of the work. But you get to a point where it's okay, and you see the beauty in that. You see, hey,
Yeah.
look at them.
Yeah.
Look at them going on that journey. And you're
Yeah.
it's a little, we have many lifetimes to work through this stuff. I know no one wants to keep going on it, but it's
Well,
important to see the bigness of it. That there's
hasn't the thousand
time.
lifetimes been enough?
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, yeah,
Uh, Dina is relating to what you're saying, 17 hours and life changing. And it has
yes,
almost been a year since she's
yeah,
seen him. That's not uncommon too. Healing is living is saying, I must have joined for a reason. I am experiencing what appears to be an ending to a 49-year relationship. Oh, wow. God
yeah,
bless you. Thank you for
yeah.
being here. That's
Talk
a
about
huge,
reinventing who am I? And
yeah.
at any stage in life,
Hmm.
it's not just, people are like, well, I'm not in my 20s anymore. Why am I having a hard time with this person? Why can't I just move on? And it doesn't matter how old you are. It's so intense. And
Yeah.
it puts you back to being almost like a teenager. Like I said, you're doing the PhD now. And it's sometimes not fair that it hits so late in life, or there's a lot of people who are meeting, say you met in high school and you married other people and you come back together and almost weaving in and out of each other's lives. I see that a lot too. It can be very intense.
I think there is happy endings for many. Like they end up with a soulmate instead, and that's a quieter love too. But it's like you said, they're on the couch with you,
Yeah.
so that's a good thing. I do remember when we were talking about, and I'm curious what you've seen with your clients too, of like how much their lives changed. Like you said, they can just lose everything because of these relationships, and the cost is very high.
Yes.
The cost of experiencing that kind of love can be very high to where people lose a lot.
Yes.
Would you mind sharing about that?
Yeah, I think people, you lose your ability to focus. You can't be present with the people you love. Work, it becomes impossible. I was getting headaches and getting sick a lot because it's just so consuming. And sometimes you're feeling their energy too. So their unhealed parts can be stuck on you in ways that you kind of have to work on helping those parts release. So now you're experiencing if they're not processing their grief and energy, it can come inside of you, and you've got to kind of figure out, whose grief is this? Whose pain am I feeling?
That's really hard.
That can pull you down too. Like
The
double
telepathic connection is also an emotional telepathy too, and that's where it gets really hard, because it can be a little bit hard to tell. And I've had to become very distinct in trying to understand, oh, wait a minute, this isn't my own experience. Like I'm feeling feeling this because of how quick that it changed. That's how I knew, like, because my mood was happy a minute ago, and so then I was able, so it's been, on one sense, helped me to have greater psychic discernment. So
yes, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, it's a great tool. So this is the first time a lot of people have felt psychic energy. It's almost like a sugar, or it's like that instant, immediate highway to some of these spiritual gifts. And it seems like it's just for this one person, but if you dig deeper and develop things, it's a doorway that has been opened, and you think it's tied to this one person, but it's much bigger than this one person. And I think that's helped in the healing journey, as you start to feel in your body how big this is. This one person, I always say, they help you open a portal. They didn't want to go in, but you can go in, and you can go and explore and be and do all these things. And you have to grieve them not coming with you, but it's hard to stand there at the portal and try to convince them to come in year after year. And in my mind, that's not the work. Of course, you should be bold and ask for what you want and be supportive and loving with them. But at some point, it's your journey.
Yeah. Just keep moving forward. And I think, keep healing, keep working on yourself, living your best life. And then what's meant to be really will be. There is a part of this that's, I like to say, it's bigger than the two. It's bigger than the masculine and the feminine, and however the genders look in that. Gender is very fluid these days. But it's the we, and the we has a lot more control than the you and the me. And so there comes a little bit of surrender, and a bit of, I don't know if the submission is the word, but you know what I mean, a word of like, not trying to dominate a force that's bigger than you, and having some respect for it as well too. I think I might be using the wrong words, but I think where I'm getting at too.
That's beautiful. Beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you.
And I would say, the way I would say that is, you want to get all parts of you on board. So right now, or in a separation, there's usually a huge fight inside. Logical part saying, we got to move on. This part, you're an idiot. Like, come on, just move on. And then there's the heart, the inner child, the soul calling you another way. And it's about self-leadership. And like you said, there's something bigger than just the two of you at play here. And that's almost help you relax a bit more, that, you can do everything you can in your power, but at some point there's a whole big story being written by who knows, and we can't fight it too much, or it hurts. It starts to hurt deeply.
Yeah. Well, I've found sometimes the only solution to that magnetic pull, which creates such longing, it's almost like the same longing we spiritual folks have for, or religious people, whatever we have. It's this longing to feel connected to a higher power. It's very similar because it's such an intense and really um, we are all aspects of the divine, so it makes sense, right? But if if your sort of logical self can remind your heart self that the illusion is a separation, you are the same energy, so there is no separation, then somehow that makes that it subdues the magnetic pull or the emotions that we attach to the magnetic pull, if that makes sense.
Yes. And yeah, someone saying longing is madness. Yes, it does. It drives you mad. I love that. Yeah. And for me, the pull it's that. And like we were saying, the inner child is really connected really hard. The inner children are so powerful. They're so beautiful, and they have such gifts inside of them. And they're so smart. Like they're smart to long after this person, because I have a client, he says, it's the only time I felt in my whole life I could breathe. It was when I was with my twin, because of the childhood was so, intense and dark, that he could finally breathe on this earth. And I just
Somebody
think it's
knows
so well
me.
said. Someone knows me.
Yeah, someone knows me.
Yeah, I feel safe here. This is home.
Yeah.
And on the other side, sometimes these people that feel like home and safety aren't the safest people. Their 3D self, their adult selves are
Personality traits.
Their personality traits can be very unsafe. So it's balancing all of that. So you also want to protect the inner child from all the back and forth. These are adult things. This is kind of how the children are meant to go play on the playground, dance, sing, be together, laugh. And the adults are there to protect this playground and make sure who you play with is safe for you and emotionally safe. Mostly, it's usually emotionally safe. But it can be hard to work with that child and let them know that, hey, not everyone. And they always want to know why. All the inner children want to know why can't we play together? Why can't we be together? It's so powerful, that question. And it helps them kind of grow up in a way when you learn that adults don't always make sense. They don't.
I used to tell my kids when they were little, just because they're adults doesn't mean they're grown up.
Beautiful.
Right. And
That's great. Just because they're your twin flame doesn't mean that they have your best interests in mind. And they do on one level, of course, but we have to be, and it's, for me, it's really important. Like we said earlier, so many people are in so much pain, and it's so intense that it doesn't need to be that intense. And I almost want to start, there's children books or something about twin flames, so people know growing up, hey, you might meet this person one day, and it's the other half of your soul. It feels amazing, and you have all these visions, but doesn't always mean they're going to be able to meet you where you are. And I think that would help a lot.
That idea.
Because so many people, when they find this twin flame thing, they're alone in it. No one else is talking about it around them. It's confusing.
People have a hard time believing it if they haven't been in one. So they think that it's just sort of a made up thing and it can't be real. That you should be able to get over it. And it's like you don't know unless you've been in it. And it's like, that's what makes it so hard too. And I think, I do want to, we have some lovely comments here from our viewers too, but I just wanted to finish this little segment off with, this is why the parts work, it comes in so handy, because when you learn to recognize your own parts, then you can recognize your twin's parts, and you can see when this, little switches and things are happening, and then you get it, and then you know not to react. Right. And it's like it's just like you said, a playground, a little thing of role playing that's happening between the parts too. And then when you can recognize it, then you actually can work with it, and you don't take it personally. You don't react. Then you're not getting pulled into the drama anymore. And then you're on a whole new playground. whole new playing field.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. With good
So,
slides and a
God
lot of
bless.
fun. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. Hi, Sylvester. Thank you for joining us too. Let me see. I'll go back a little bit. Dina was saying unconditional love for sure. She had dreams about him before she met him. That's actually very common. You feel the longing, you have the dreams, you feel them, you start clearing each other, on a psychic level before you even meet. And you think it's something else and it turns out, yeah. Saw past lives as well. Yep. That's pretty common, Dina. Brian met his twin flame 30 years ago. She got deeply into alcohol and he couldn't stick around, but the connection never stopped.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Brian. He also says, I always hoped that I could help her, but she could never commit. That was always in the way. And try as I might, I could never let go of that connection. And then she ended up passing away about 6 years ago, unresolved. I want to cry too, Brian.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful.
They're all tragic. It's just also tragic.
Yes. It's the kind of the corner of the internet, where the twin flames don't come together, where dreams die. And what do you do when this dream dies? Who do you become? It's so real and so raw. And like you said, if you've never lived it, where your dream, where something was guaranteed, falls apart, it's indescribable. So I feel for you. Unresolved.
It's that why would we choose this? Why would we choose to have this kind of epic connection that has nowhere to go, like unfulfilled love with nowhere to go? Like, it just makes no sense. God.
Yes, it can't ground for some, for reasons beyond what we'll ever know.
Yeah.
It can't ground
I guess, and we have that acceptance too. Dina's saying she'll start crying out of nowhere because he's crying across. It's crazy. Yeah. I've had that happen to me too. And it's like, and it doesn't always happen in real time. The energy can save itself up and then you can feel it in delayed time. I've had balls of psychic energy just accumulate over hours. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this has been a hard day over there. Woo, okay. Woo, okay, a lot of stress that direction. Okay. This is a great question. Is it possible to have more than one? What do you think, Jess?
I am not the pro on the definitions because I don't know. Sure. Like I said, my world, I say just wait till you're, on your deathbed, and then you can kind of parcel out who was karmic, who was what. It's a good question. I don't know. I don't have the answer for those things, but sure is what I would say. How about you? What would you say, Jennifer?
I say probably not, but nothing is impossible. You can't say anything for sure.
Yeah.
Probably not, but I don't want to say no for sure.
And things are changing all the time. That's the other thing I tell people is we think there's this pattern, these stages of the twin flame journey, and there are, but the world is changing rapidly. What's possible, impossible, common, uncommon. So it's not any set thing, I would say.
It doesn't follow any of the rules. It doesn't care what your societal norms and constructs are. It doesn't care what your gender is, how many years apart, how far away you apart. All of that stuff does not care. No. It's just like love is love. Get over it, people. That's how it kind of is. Hello to everybody who's joined us. Beautiful Evelyn. And I also saw Ashley Page here joining us too. Miss Lynn Juno, thank you for being here too. A lot of comments coming in. So this is definitely getting people pretty excited too. Natalie, I did a lot of work on myself and my parts. The very day I finally wrenched myself away from my DM, I met a high-level soulmate. It's so beautiful that I don't even want my DM back.
Oh,
wow. Congratulations, Natalie. Congratulations, Natalie. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. It's a roller coaster that once you're off and you've got that person next to you on the couch, you have so much gratitude for them, but there's also so much in the, lovely high level soulmate, so much you can get done here with that person. So, and I used to say for my twin, I used to say thank you He gave me nothing, but thank you for giving me nothing, because in that he gave me everything. I got nothing out of him. There's no official breakup. There's no divorce. There's no tangible thing to show what I got from him, but I got everything because I had to become something much bigger than that. And it was very hard. But because he didn't cooperate, he didn't participate as I wanted him to, I got a lot out of it. So it's a flip side to it too.
It's the paradox, isn't it? The
Yes.
spiritual paradox.
Yeah.
No one needs to.
You don't want to. You don't.
Nobody even wants one. They think they do because it's so romanticized. But people say, "I want to meet my." And it's like, no.
Do something else. Keep your sanity. Yeah.
There's some love for Brian coming in as well too here. And but yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for sharing. And Evelyn is saying, it's also sad. I'm not sure whether I was in a twin flame or a soulmate. It still ended up quite sadly either way. Yeah. So
it's a grief journey is another thing I see. It's grief. It's how you process grief, your relationship to grief. Hopelessness is another part that comes in strong with the twin flames, and it's something to befriend and get to know that part of you.
Yeah. And that's hard if you're a person who's always been full of hope, the sort of, hard on sleever kind of person. And then to see dream die like that and lose hope. It's just, that's really existentially painful.
Yes. And the hope, almost everyone I work with, the hope part, because hope is usually very bright and shiny and creative and loving. And it also, just like the inner child, it's very hard to understand, like, why would this person not, want to do this with me? And you've got to work with hope. And usually hope does well if you give her another job, if you use her in another area of your life.
Ooh, I love that.
So it's balancing hope and reality. It's tricky. You don't want to lose hope because that doesn't feel good either. But it's usually a very creative part of you that can do all kinds of things for you.
Yeah. So I would think like reframing your hope is like the dark work that we do to find a new way to almost like alchemize that hope. And it's like turning something into gold and like turning that into that's the dark work, to come back into the light again. Interesting thought. Okay,
I like that one. Beautiful. So beautiful.
May I ask, Jess, about the hypnosis work you do? Do you do like past life work to help your clients, or
some? But over the years, I've noticed it's become less important, the past life. For some people it is, and they want to experience that. But for most people, there's enough this lifetime that we can tap into that needs to get noticed or brought to light, especially the inner child, I think. I'm really connected to them. I work, they work with me. I'm also part of it in the hypnosis. And I say it's like a deep guided meditation, hyper focus with an emotion, which is a twin flame. It's all emotion. It's all hyper focus. So it's the perfect trailhead into all of our stuff, spiritual, the childhood stuff. So it's great too, because it softens the logical voice and the harsher voices. There's usually a strong critic too, because there's a lot to criticize yourself about on this journey, and the other person. But we can quiet those parts and kind of get to the softer parts, the grief, like Brian was saying, like the why, really get to the heart of that question. Which part is asking that? What do they need from you? And why is usually a head question. We want to move it into the heart and the body, and how can we help this part of you that's saying why, and feel the grief and feel it.
Grief becomes your friend after a while. I get it. It doesn't go away. You just learn to hold it better. It just is. And I think grief is also what makes us human, the love and the grief. And it's being able to hold the two together at once without splitting. And that's that's where the magic of wholeness is too.
Yeah.
I have a great question here from Labyrinth Criterion is asking, what if you have a twin flame connection and they're just mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
they're just
People,
mean.
yeah,
Like,
some people to go the extreme of that. Some people, their twin flames abusive. Not a lot, but it happens. These aren't always really good people. I mean, they're good heart. There's a heart in there that's really good. But yeah, if you get someone that's mean or unkind, a lot of people talk about the mirror work. I think it's very valuable and it has its place, but like I said, a lot of times you're really advanced in personal work and these people are they haven't even begun it really. So is that a mirror? I don't know. But sometimes the whole point of coming together with these people, if they're unkind or, they don't want to commit, the whole point is standing up for yourself and removing yourself. And that's hard. It's the last thing you want to do. It feels, but you're protecting those parts of you because you want to be really loyal to that inner child. And if that inner child wants a safe home, you're going to do anything to get that safe home. And if it's to leave the twin flame dynamic, sometimes it is that, which for you becomes an act of bravery and being bold. There's a lot of boldness in these relationships, being really brave.
right. And that's why the work you do is called stepping into your power, is reclaiming your power too, because that's when you stop abandoning your inner child.
Yeah.
And all your parts too.
Yeah.
Because when we abandon those parts within ourself for the other, it never works out well.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. And until you break that cycle, that loop, things are not going to change very quickly for you.
Yeah.
I have found. So well said. Thank you. My gosh.
Intense stuff. Intense.
It's really, really intense stuff. And there's a couple there's some talk in the comments about Geminis too, which is interesting. And she's saying, thank you. Yeah. And that ties into what you were also saying is we're going through a big dynamic global shift right now. And we've got the Uranus and Gemini for the next 7 years, and Gemini is the twins. So we're suspecting or questioning, where does that dynamic go next? Because it has shifted from where it was like 2 years ago to how people talk about the TFs now. It's much different. A lot of healing has taken place, a lot of growth, a lot of integration. And so where does it go next? And it's just it's just like this unknown territory because it doesn't follow the rules, doesn't care about.
My predictions, my predictions, just because I see it all the time. My predictions is it becomes mainstream. It becomes very common. And like I said, there'll be kids' books about it. A therapist will talk about it. It's another thing. People can't find therapists who are that can hold the space for this because it doesn't make sense. And that's where I can be helpful as a complement to the therapy work that you're already doing. But I think it's just going to become more common. And in that, it'll be less isolating, less embarrassing, less shame around these kind of situations, and judgment. More freedom. No judgment. Yeah. And more freedom to almost like first love, your first teenage love. You don't know anything about love besides the Disney movies when you hit your teenage years. But as you get older, you've seen so much more, and you know how people are, and you learn. So I'm hoping it just becomes, and I'm hoping the spiritual connection and chemistry becomes one data point and not the most important data point, because that's what it feels like. The first soul connection. It feels like everything. You will give up anything to get to that air, to the oxygen, to being seen and loved. And I want it to just be one piece. And because now it's almost more rare to find someone has relationship skills and has done a lot of work on themselves, especially in the masculine. It's
emotional intelligence.
That's almost more rare than the chemistry and the soul connection.
Nervous system regulation, knowing your parts, being able to hold the space as well too. Yeah, for sure. And that dopamine loop is very, very hard to get yourself out of. So you have to take care of your health. You have to take care of your brain. You have to get your chemistry. You have to get your chemistry in check, big time.
Yes.
Hormones,
Yes.
all of that too.
Yes.
I would not have called myself an anxious attached person until the dopamine hit me in that way. But
Oh,
it
yeah.
caught me when I was also in a health crisis too. So it was just a perfect storm.
Yeah.
But I worked very hard to like get my brain balanced out too for me, and that was
Great.
very helpful too. Lots of parts work as well
Yeah.
too. But I was coming to another point that I wanted to ask you about, if I can get my thought back. Too, there's a lot of talk about Gemini's.
That's really funny.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say, because you were talking about how therapists don't understand the dynamics, so they may not believe you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
As well too. Now the same thing can happen. I do feel, because I'm a medium and I'm a psychic as well too, and it's like it gets very tricky with because a lot of people are going to go to psychics. They're going to look at tarot videos, trying to get anything that will give them, and that's a very delicate thing, because it just I would say find somebody who does understand that dynamic, but even then, be careful about asking about the future,
Yeah.
because that's not,
It's not
it
your
could go
business.
anywhere.
Not your
It could
business.
just, the
Yeah.
energy is all over the place and always shifting. And so I believe that if you're working with somebody in this capacity, your responsibility then as a psychic is to be very careful with how you're reading the energy, how you're delivering the energy, and that you're not delivering false hope or false promises to a person. Be very delicate and say, you know what, this may not be as accurate as another kind of reading, right? Because it just doesn't play by the rules.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm so glad, because almost everyone I meet has spent
Yeah,
a small fortune on
yeah,
psychics, healers, and it's the hope. Hope is pressing that button and looking for relief, because there's so much pain. It just, you really want to hear, you know,
mhm,
the why, or
yeah,
if it's going to work out, and so I think they have definitely a place on the journey. Your psychic
mhm,
readings, tarot readings, great, but like you said, be very careful,
yeah.
and watch your
Use discernment.
relationship to it. Yeah, discernment.
Mhm.
Watch which part of you clicks that button, and you might need to sit with that part before you click the button and say,
Yeah,
hey, are you
right.
upset? Are you scared right now? Are you panicked? Let me be with you and see what
Yeah.
happens. Um,
That's key, because you think it's you pushing the button, but it's a part of you pushing the button.
yeah,
And why are you pushing the button? What are
yeah,
you feeling in that moment? What's
yeah.
missing? I
What's
love
in your
that.
body? Yeah, what's happening in your
That
body? And
I
that's what
love that.
hypnosis is great too, because you get in your eyes are closed, you're in your body. And in the twin flame, especially when I was in it, I was just thinking and thinking and looping and looping. And what did he say? And what did that text mean? And, counting dates that he texted but didn't text. And I mean, all head up, all neck up. It's the body
Oh, we
when
don't
you're,
know what that's like at all, just
no. And that's what I mean, the situationships that a lot of people are getting now, it's very similar. It's, you're just stuck, looped, and nothing's moving. And we want things to move. That's kind of what I want for
yeah,
people, is to move through these things a bit quicker, not spend decades, because it's no way to
yeah.
live. It's no way to live
No,
longing for
no,
someone. It's
no,
hard. It's hard.
no. No, you have a life to live. You have
Yeah.
people that need you. You have
Yes.
experiences that need to be had. You have
Yes.
joy waiting for you as well. Uh, Dina was saying she's confused. Her TW is a sweetheart. I don't know if she meant TF. Ex-husband was a narcissist and not always nice. I thought he was a karmic relationship. And
Hmm.
she says, I didn't know twin flames are also mean people as well. LOL, if that makes sense too. Well, I think it's because of the addictive patterns and the anxious avoidant patterns. It doesn't mean they're mean people, but it means their patterns cause them to behave, or their parts to behave in protective ways that can come out manipulative and hurtful to
Yes.
you. Right.
Yeah.
That's a good
And
way of
we
putting
we just,
it.
yeah, that's great. And we have to watch
Yeah.
that we aren't too understanding, too loving, too nurturing. Uh, one thing with my situation is I knew why he was acting avoidant, but instead of, I would use it as a way to feel sorry for him and to hang in there. And I let myself go in that. And that's not, a lot of us are natural healers. That's not the way to heal and help. It's, holding a high standard and staying up there. Don't go down. Unless it's the container is set for that, but there's an agreement. But
I think like what you're speaking of too is where codependency and unconditional love get sort of mixed up and sort of entangled a little bit there. Because you can be unconditionally loving of a person, accepting them as they are, and also taking care of you and holding your energy in a way that says, I know how I'm supposed to be treated. I know what I deserve. And I'm not going to allow that to, affect me in a harmful way. Yeah. Jennifer saying they sure do sharpen your pattern recognition.
That's it. There's
Both
nothing
ways.
better. Nothing better.
Both ways.
Yep.
They see yours, you see theirs.
Yep.
So no one gets to hide away.
Yep.
There's a little naughty talk in the chat. I'll just leave that be.
Oh.
Okay. Dina's a medium as well. She's lovely. I know her very well for many years, so she's a beautiful soul. So many people are asking her about their twin flame story, and I don't like to give a direct answer as well. Yeah, I think that's a good choice, Dina.
I agree.
Too. And I found that I have people coming for me to readings, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, you've got this going on. How did you know? I'm like, oh, well, yeah, that's my job. But but then that lets me know, okay, wait a minute, this is what we're dealing with. I'm going to be a little bit extra cautious here too. So.
Good. I love it. Love to hear that. Yes. So many helpers. There's so many helpers on this journey. You've got to find them. And you need, there's a saying that grief needs a witness. So whether it's your psychic, your healer, whoever you work with, the grief needs to be witnessed and held with someone. It's so healing. So healing.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. We need emotional support systems too. I feel like a variety is really good.
Me too.
People to help you with your health, people to help you with your emotional and your mental support, people to help you with your spiritual support, to just throw the kitchen sink at.
You have to. With this, you have to.
Yeah,
you have to come at every angle. Everything has to change.
And work on it every day. There is no skipping. There's no I don't feel like doing my parts work today because I'm too busy, or it's like, no, it's like take the time every day to show up for yourself too. I'm curious what you think about this. I have found that right before you go to bed at night and when you wake up in the morning, this is when your personality hasn't fully come online yet. And that's when we tend to feel very vulnerable in that moment. But there's also no one that you have to perform for. None of the parts have to do anything for anybody except to be there. That's a good time to have a team meeting.
I love that. Yes.
That's a great time to do parts work right before you go to bed or right when you wake up.
Yes. And hypnosis is kind of that state too. It's like,
oh yeah.
The performative parts get a little quieter, or you can, ask them to step aside a bit and, get everyone at the table and what's going on today? Do we really feel like reaching out? There's a lot of work around the reaching out to this twin flame. So it's very overpowering feeling. It's huge feeling to reach out.
Yeah. Sometimes it's quiet and I'm like, anybody in there want to say anything? Yeah. I'm listening.
Okay, let's take it.
You're awful quiet tonight.
Take it. Take a quiet night. That's great. That's great.
Mom's here.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sweet. That's so loving.
Anyone have a complaint?
I love, you're doing so good. That's the work. That's parts work. If anyone hasn't done it yet, it's literally talking to these aspects, these parts of you.
Yeah. We are responsible to be the loving parents, mother and father to our parts. I agree with you. There's this one great video you did with the head and the heart, how you were explaining, how the heart wants to love and be loved, and the head is just worried about trying to not look stupid and takes over when when something's gone wrong and you've been hurt and disappointed or manipulated or something like that too. And I remember that was a great one.
Yeah.
Dina's saying, great wisdom. I haven't seen mine in a year, so I don't really know much about him other than I was super connected like my whole life and it felt like home. That's it.
Oh,
It's the
yeah.
home.
Yeah.
And
We
that's
always
what's so
go,
hard.
that's what's so hard. We go to that in hypnosis. We go back to that home feeling because we
Mhm,
need to relate to it in a way that's more empowering. Yes, this person
mhm,
is your home, but there's a home inside of you. Like you said,
right,
you're the mom and you're talking to these parts in the
mhm,
morning and the evening. That's a home.
mhm,
That's a busy home. And
yeah,
this twin flame is part of it, but it can't be your only home because they don't want to be, and they never want to be, and they'll act out in a million different ways because they can't be your home. And I think that's
yeah,
unfortunate. It's sad. It's so sad because they want to be. I think a lot of them want to be there for you, but they just can't do it. So you have to find home in you. There's no other choice. No other
yeah.
choice.
And I think unfortunately we have a lot of protectors that try too hard sometimes
Yeah.
because of the fear of getting hurt again or the
Yeah.
fear of disappointment again. And when the stakes are this high, the protectors are like, I
They are
can't handle
out.
that kind of blow. I'm going to
Yeah.
sabotage this whole thing so that I can protect you from having the ultimate disappointment.
Yes.
But then you end up with the ultimate disappointment
Anyway.
anyway.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
It's
So
like, that's what's so
100%.
crazy.
It
Yeah.
ends the same way. Yeah, it ends poorly, but some obviously come together, but
Some do make
some
it though.
do.
There is some hope for the community. Some do make
Yes,
it and they get married
of
and can
course.
be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've had the couples
Um,
on I saw that lovely and great examples of, but they're working
yeah.
together. They're working on their
Right.
relationship skills and that deep work, and
Yeah.
that's what I think really helps them come together this lifetime is
Yeah.
that work.
I agree. It's funny. I saw a little reel earlier, and the gentleman was saying like the best kind of love. He was like the highest love. He's like it's when like the man fully pours into his woman so she could be the best version of
Mhm.
herself, and then she does the same for him, and
Yeah.
they're each other's muse, and so then you're basically doing more together than you could do all by yourself. But
Yes.
it's a healthy interdependency, not a codependency, kind of
Yes.
thing. And I think everybody is like, that's a slam dunk of the ideal relationship that everybody wants, right?
Yes.
Um, but the cost, if I think it's possible, but it's how bad do you want it? How much are you willing
Yeah.
to look inside yourself,
Yeah.
face your own shadow, do the work, and it's a lot of effing work.
Yeah. And if can you step
Yeah.
away from all that the other problem with the twin flames is all you
Mhm.
know is what you know until then. So all you know is this one person feels like home and safety and love and it feels like you'll never
Mhm.
feel it again. And the feeling
Mhm.
almost it's like a knowing, but we kind of have to look at that knowing because in this there's also a lot of work with your intuition with these twin flames because your intuition can
Yeah.
be screaming, yes, this is the one, it's going to come back together, but there's evidence that it's not. So there's a reckoning there with the
Mhm.
knowing, the intuition, and
Yeah.
it really can strip
Mhm.
you, it can send you in a spiral if you don't have your intuition or it
Yeah.
was quote unquote wrong for
Yeah.
this twin flame. So it's
Yeah.
another scary part of this
That's
journey.
a hard reckoning. That's a hard existential psychic break that people can go through too as well. So it's toughen up.
Sorry guys, this
Toughen
is
up.
the
I know.
it's a rough
I
topic,
know.
but it's so real. That's what I love it so much. It's
Yeah.
so real. And people, it's just the realest version of themselves comes out of this. And
Yeah.
you can be so compassionate and so loving towards other people when they describe their breakup to you. And you're gonna start feeling other people are gonna flock to you once you go through these and they're gonna say, wow, I just can't get over this, person I met in high school or met once at a cafe. And you can really be there for them. You won't judge them. You'll help them see different sides of it. So it's really a gift on the other end, this kind of reject club, I call it sometimes. Like, we didn't get the thing we were supposed to get, but the way we can show up for other people, and more people are going to have these. So we need more and more soldiers.
You don't get the fairy tale happy ending the way that it looks on paper, but I think the authenticity that you get out of it, that there's a big gift in that, and the ability to help a lot of other people.
Yes.
There's definitely a big gift in that too. Jess, I know we can find you at your website, gurusay with 2s's.com. So if anyone wants to work with you, do some coaching work, do some hypnosis, and all your platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube is at Twin Flame Rehab. Please do give Jess a follow over on her Facebook page and on Instagram, and a subscribe over on YouTube as well. And connect with her on her website as well too. That would be most wonderful too. You deserve the love for all the hard work that you're doing, and congratulations on this beautiful baby boy that you have too.
Yeah, he's squawked a little bit, but he's back asleep.
He's perfect. He's absolutely perfect.
I'm so excited. This has been, I've been wanting to talk to a psychic and this community in this way about it, because there's so much beautiful stuff about the twin flames, but there's also this harder edge to it, and it's important too. So I'm glad I can talk about it.
Yeah. Sometimes, people don't want to talk about the hard stuff. They don't want to talk about the dark and ugly parts of it too. But it is, and people need to know they're not alone in this too. And that said, it doesn't erase the beauty of the connection that you got to feel. You got to experience a love very different,
once in a lifetime,
very unique. Yeah. And you got to experience that. You got to have that experience, and to the soul, golden.
Yes.
May I ask, Jess, any last final words that you would like to leave with all of us here tonight before we come to a close? And thank you everybody who's joined us.
Yeah. Again, great comments, everyone. I mean, thanks for sharing that. So it's a good space to share these stories for sure. Yeah. I would just say it expands your definition of love and life and meaning of life. So to meet them, even if it's not going well and there's a lot of grief, you're expanding. That my final stage of the twin flame journey is expansion. That's how so you're going to expand no matter what happens. So hang in there, but expansion is the goal.
Expansion is the goal. And chances are that's what we asked for at some point, and we got it. We just didn't know it was gonna. I remember asking for expansion. I didn't know that's what it meant.
I know.
Well, I'm so grateful because you are, you're a very grounded and wise and educated and talented a soul and resource for people to come to that they can trust, that will believe them, that won't judge them, and can actually help them, especially if they're in the thick of it too. Like that's really hard to get you to the other side. And there is another side, folks. There is happiness. There is a beautiful life waiting for you that you can step into and enjoy it. Like you have this beautiful baby boy. Look at all the happiness I showed up for you.
Who knew?
It's the best. It is the best. It is the best. So I'm going to say a big thank you to you, Jess, for being my guest here tonight and sharing with us. Thank you to all of our beautiful friends for coming on and supporting and sharing. I greatly appreciate it. Being so open and honest here in the comments too. So love you all so very much. And once again, more shows on the Sacred Spiral Network tomorrow and on Wednesday. We got Michael's in on Thursday, and we'll be back on Friday with more shows again. And my sister show, Embracing Infinity, with the lovely career leadership coach and angel medium messenger, Miss Shannon Rattay, whom you all know and love, will be joining me as my guest on Friday. And we'll be back on the Love Show next Monday at 6 p.m. Oh, don't forget Fashionably Spiritual Friday night with Nancy Marantala. See, it's our first time on Fridays, so my brain is still catching up to the new day and the new time. Forgive me, folks. So that's at 6:30 p.m. this coming Friday as well. And my sister show, my next love show next Monday with Naomi and Martin on the space between, another fabulous couple. Looking forward to having them. So thank you again all for sharing the space, and a big thank you to our producer Kelly Brickle for taking such good care of us here today. Wishing you a beautiful evening and week ahead. Sleep with the angels. Bye everybody. And thank you,
Thanks.
Jess.
Bye.
Thank you.